Welcome to
Trends This Week.
Welcome to
Trends This Week.
It's so exciting. We're in a different environment. So this week, we're not at the hub. We're speaking to you all the way from the point of no return in Badagry. All right, so I'm excited. So a lot happened this week. So much happened this week. In class, this was the week for social media analytics. So let's see, where do we start from? Let's start from Monday. So on Monday, as usual, we get our live brief. And we had the singular honor of having the head of strategy and business for Fair Communications come in and start out the week, kick off the week. After, of course, our regular, our trainer, Alex, had taken the social media analytics. So we then, in the afternoon, got a live brief from Phoebe, Yinka. She talked a lot about the use of advertising and opportunities that it opens to organizations. And I found this really interesting because it helps us as a group basically know that it's whatever brief you get is beyond just, you can't just say, oh, okay, it's just digital, or it's just this, or just that. It basically opened up the opportunities and the possibilities, you know, and that you must see yourself as a business consultant. So what are some of the things that you remember from her class? Diola, do you want to kick this off?
Okay, yes, she talked about the different types of advertising, and she mentioned guerrilla advertising. It was a different one. I hadn't heard that before now, and it's a unique kind of advertising where you intentionally try to grab the consumer's attention by doing something different. It's sort of traditional, but a unique kind of advertising.
Oh, okay. Omoyeme, what do you remember from her class?
From her class, I learned about wall branding, and where you paint an entire building up with a brand, maybe brand image, brand logo, and then that's, advertising. And another one I learned was the wall drapes. I'm sure you must have seen that before in Nigeria, in Lagos, Nigeria, where you have banners dripping down an entire building with captions, and it's really.
Okay, for me it was proximity advertising, where when you're within a certain location and your GPS is on, then you get pop-ups about businesses around our vicinity. Maybe it was very. I think I've seen such in Nigeria before, but I didn't just know what happened. But
yeah, I think that the use of beacons and all hasn't become mainstream in Nigeria, but the opportunities are enormous. Because more than 90% of Nigerians actually access the internet from their mobile phones. So imagine when we can have beacons in stores and in locations, and you can, or even give people free internet, and then once they're in your area, you can, push communication to them.
Yeah, mine is
digital. Yeah.
Blending physical with digital, and we have that where you have some banners on the street and you get a code, so you can just take picture of the code and it redirects you to know more about the store and also get connected with them.
I like that because you can then integrate your call to action and basically get this. You can use, for example, what's happening on the transit ads, and make sure that you're mixing a call to action that gives people an action to take. Otherwise, it's like you're just putting the ad there and you're not letting people know what they can do with it. So it's really important to be able to know how you can integrate the physical with the digital. Then after the class on advertising opportunities, we then had the effective communications part 2. I remember the class very well because I took it. Yeah. All right, so let's see what you remember. Effective communication.
Okay,
part 2.
For effective communication part 2, I learned that when communicating, your gestures shouldn't distract your listeners. So don't start touching your hair and acting really absurd and all that. So you should be able to focus on you while you're communicating.
Because the message is the focus. The message is the king. What do you remember from the communication class?
For me, gestures are very, very important, but your gestures should make sure that your gestures match with your message. You can't be saying stocks are going down while your hands are pointing up.
Yeah.
So your gestures should match with your message.
So your gestures should amplify your message. Your gestures should help people be able to basically visualize your message better, and your gestures should actually be the hero. You will be the superhero, and your gestures should be the hero.
Yes, mine is your tone. Your tone shouldn't be flat. You should have vocal varieties while speaking so that people can feel the emotions behind your speech.
You know how it is when somebody is speaking to you and it's just monotonous. You sleep off.
very
And let's not forget who is the king when you're communicating. Your audience. Don't forget your audience. It's all about the audience. Okay, so after the effective communication class, we then had Mr. Bode, the MD of Web Coopers, come in to talk about Google Analytics and how you can use Google Analytics for campaigns. So,
Okay, yeah, he talked about how it helps you monitor what you're doing right and what you're doing wrong. So if you put out, for instance, an ad and you want to, after it has been put out, you want to track if you've been doing, if your audience responded to it or how your audience responded to it. It could help you monitor so you could know what you're doing wrong and how to improve on that.
fantastic. So that's using it after a campaign. But he also mentioned that you could use it before a
Yeah,
campaign.
you
What
could
do
also use it before a campaign. So it's a map to help you know where you're going, your target audience, how to make the campaign in a way that it fits or it gets to the right people. And also after your campaign, so you know how to measure your KPIs and all that.
What do you remember about the Google
Okay,
Analytics class?
for me, you have to use Google Analytics even before your campaign to make important and definite decisions about your campaign. And also during the campaign, it also helps you to make more decisions. Okay, I need to do this, I need to do that during the campaign.
Okay, it also gives insight into your audience. You get to know where your audience are and also their demography and so many things about them that would help you make informed decisions.
Yeah, so I mean, we did learn so much from that class. The rest of the week, the groups really worked hard on the live brief that was received. The live brief we had from Fear Communication was on coming up with a total campaign for a betting brand, Superior Bet, and I think the groups really collaborated. The energy and synergy, I would say, has really become fluid.
Sure.
People have learned to work better because you know that each week you're going to be into a different group. And guess what? In agency life, in the same week, you can be working on 2-3 different accounts and working on with different teams on these things. So you must be able to function no matter where they put you, no matter where. And I think you all learned a lesson this week. What was that lesson?
For me, the lesson I learned had to do with meeting up with time, right? It doesn't matter how little the time you're given. It doesn't matter how little the time you're given to work on a brief or to work on a project. You have to deliver. So yes, that was what I learned.
Some other lessons. I know there's some other lessons.
For me, wait, I have to say this.
Yeah.
Gender has no creativity, you know.
It doesn't affect your output. So at the beginning of the week, before the live brief was even given, in actual fact, the groups were already divided. And this week, remember that I actually divided you guys into an all-women group, all guys group, and 2 mixed groups. And I remember that as soon as when the live brief was being given, because it was a betting product, I was looking at your faces. The people that were in the all-male group, they had this large smirk on their faces, like, oh, we've got this, we're gonna kill this, because they felt they knew more about sports betting. It was about sports betting.
Yeah.
So they were like, we got this, And I could see the all-female team. They were just scared. They were like, what? How? I mean, like, why? And I had to speak to everybody and just let them know that, look, everybody can do this, because the truth is, you can be working in an agency and you have to work on a tobacco brand, or you have to work on an alcoholic brand, and you don't necessarily use it. But you have to find out about the target audience and then go find out what the target audience would do regarding that. And I think after doing that, carrying out your research, you're able to actually then sit and put out presentations that it didn't matter who or the gender or the background of the people. And so I'm really, really proud of the team concerning that. So on Friday, we went to Fear Communications. Fear Communications really hosted us very well, and shout out again to Fear Communications. Thank you. All right, that was really nice one. Okay, so let's talk about a local trend. So this week we saw again the power of the internet. I love talking about the power of the internet. Because of the power of the internet, Forbes named 8 Nigerians under 30 that made the Forbes under 30 list. And these are people that, if not for the internet, it would have taken them so long from the time they started their businesses to being known and being known internationally. Yeah. So do you remember some of the names?
Yes, I remember Tito Ovia.
Adego K. Olubisi.
I remember Obi Omile Jr., a marketing communication expert.
You see? We never would have known
Yeah.
who they are. But thanks to the power of the internet. And this week, in fact, yesterday actually, in 2001, Agbani Darego broke a record.
First African.
Yeah.
She was named the first black Miss World in 2001, November 16. So I mean, it's really, really great. And let's talk about a global trend. The global trend this week is a sad one. We lost a legend. Let me let John Bosco talk about it, because Marvel Comics, like every young boy reads.
As a die-hard Marvel fan and the brain behind Spider-Man. But for me, when I was reading his life, I saw that when he made the cartoon for Spider-Man, he went to the publisher. The publisher said, no, I'm not going to do this, it's not ideal, but he said, I know this is going to work. He was persistent, so I took out persistence in his life, and he believed that once you're persistent in anything you're doing, you're going to surely be a success. So for me, I'm still soaking the whole thing in.
Yeah, I'm happy that he touched so many lives.
Yeah.
He touched so many lives from when they were young, and he left this world with a positive impact. So let's all work towards that, leaving a legacy behind. Yep. So looking forward to next week. And we'll see you next week on Trends This Week.